Sejarah Indonesia merupakan sebuah kisah epik perdagangan. Selama berabad-abad, perdagangan telah menyatukan negara kepulauan ini. Memang bukan perjalanan yang mudah, namun hari ini Indonesia menjadi salah satu negara dengan pertumbuhan ekonomi tercepat di dunia.
My name is Pinky Beliza. I'm 29 years old. I have a son and I've been married for 5 years. I'm also working as a process excellence manager. The economy is booming in Indonesia, especially in Jakarta itself. It's enormous change, basically, from now compared to 10 years ago. The government built a lot of new supermarkets and malls, so it's very convenient right now, so I can just go to supermarket and find all the things that I need.
Seiring pesatnya pertumbuhan ekonomi Indonesia, banyak barang mewah kini terjangkau oleh sebagian besar rumah tangga kelas menengah.
My husband, he's a huge fan of TV and all the electronic stuff, so when we go to the store nowadays, you can actually find it in 1 week time after it's being launched.
Tangan orang Indonesia jarang beristirahat. Tenaga kerja yang penuh semangat ini mendorong peningkatan hasil industri. Dengan meningkatnya permintaan pasar ekspor dan domestik, dunia bisnis Indonesia kini harus fokus untuk memenuhi kebutuhan pasar yang semakin luas. Di antara berbagai komoditas, Indonesia selalu menjadi pengekspor besar biji kokoa. Tapi kini, produksi kokoa merupakan bisnis yang amat modern.
Basically, we are in the business of cocoa processing. That means we process the cocoa beans into cocoa products comprising of cocoa liquor, cocoa butter, as well as cocoa powder. When we started with only this area, which is a small factory processing about 10,000 tons. But now, last 5-6 years, the capacity has expanded currently to about 120,000 tons of cocoa beans that we can process per year. The government has actually invested quite a lot in terms of infrastructure and also in terms of providing the necessary incentives and conducive environment for investors to actually invest in this country. I think the last 10 years, the GDP growth is about 5% yearly. Our products are actually exported to Europe, USA, and also in Asia, especially to China, and also to South Africa, to almost about 50 countries currently. When we started, we only ship around 200 containers per year. Now we have increased. In 2011, we export about 2,200 containers, and this year we expect to increase to around 3,200 containers.
Dikelilingi oleh laut, pertumbuhan Indonesia bergantung pada kelancaran sistem transportasi. Barang-barang harus dapat dikapalkan dan dikirim dengan mudah. Di Jakarta, pelabuhan dan jalan yang penuh sesak telah mencapai batas kapasitas. Di sini, infrastruktur bukan sekedar istilah akademis, melainkan kebutuhan vital. Upaya-upaya berskala lokal dilakukan untuk memperbaiki kondisi jalan dan pelabuhan. Namun tuntutan akan proses pengiriman barang melalui darat dan laut yang dapat diandalkan makin meningkat.
The most important thing is the reliability. We have to make sure cargo arrive to our destination at the shortest transit time.
In Maersk Line, we are basically offer simple solutions of transporting the goods by supporting export from the country to anywhere in the world and imports from anywhere in the world into the country. Sometimes we need trucks, container terminals, and ship to make the delivery. Luckily in Maersk, we operate all three. And within Maersk Groups, we have Damco, APM Terminals, and Maersk Line. Our business is about making it simple for our customers to ship their goods to anywhere in the world.
Perekonomian Indonesia berkembang pesat, didorong oleh potensi gabungan wirausaha lokal serta kesuksesan perdagangan global. Dilihat dari generasi kelas menengah baru, perkembangan tersebut layak dihargai.
It creates job, like a lot of foreign investment in our country, and then there's a lot of new vacancies, a lot of job in here, including me, and I've got a good pay basically. So it's kind of like a lot of options for my friends, for my family. So more business, more opportunity for people to work in here.
Dunia bisnis Indonesia kini memantapkan diri di jalur cepat. Dan dengan partner-partner internasional yang tepat, mereka terhubung dengan baik ke dunia.
Pick a point on the globe. Any point, and Maersk won't be far away. Transporting the cargoes that connect traders across the world. Securing the supply of energy to keep our world moving forward. Building businesses with local partners. Creating jobs. Helping the economy grow. Many places, one way of doing business. We are Maersk, and we're preparing for new times in Asia. Global trade is increasing exponentially. Every day, mountains have to be moved from one side of the world to the other, to the most remote corners, to the busiest centers. The mountains are growing, and some cargo must be kept fresh and delicate. How do Maersk solve this complexity for the customers? It's all about innovative thinking. Maersk Container Industry produces low-energy, climate-controlled containers. And Maersk Line has set a new standard for handling even the largest shipments of cargo.
Every year in Maersk Line, we move mountains. We move cargo that would be much bigger than Mount Everest, and we move it one container at a time. Making that complexity work in a way that is simple and reliable for the customer is really what our business is all about. We have asked our biggest customers to help us redesign our service on the Asia-Europe trade route to match their business needs. The result is a new kind of product. Think of it as a floating conveyor belt linking Asia and Europe. The conveyor belt runs at constant speed, carrying everything from cars to electronics to king prawns. Customers can deliver their cargo onto this belt on a daily basis. We can promise delivery with absolute reliability, on time, every time. We've kept things simple, so our customers don't have to worry about moving containers. How we get the goods where they need to be, that's our business. Seeing it work today is extremely exciting, and having these discussions with the customers now where they actually don't perceive the complexity of what we do is actually quite nice. They're taking for granted now that we're able to deliver what we promise. It's difficult for us, it's easy for them, and that's what it should be about.
The wheels of industry depend on oil and gas to keep them turning, so our civilization can advance. But as demand continues to grow, sources of easy oil and gas become scarce. Remaining reserves are harder to access, harder to extract. How is Maersk Oil unlocking their potential?
My name is Marianne Richterhausen. I'm working as a well-site geologist in Maersk Oil in Qatar. What really excites me about the job is that it's like a treasure hunt. We are searching for the black gold and we know it's hidden in the underground, we just don't know where it is. And by collecting and analyzing all sorts of data, we get indications of where the hydrocarbons are hidden. Maersk Oil never went for the easy accessible oil, but dealing with the more difficult reservoirs. By gaining knowledge and developing technical skills on the way, Maersk Oil succeeded in turning some of those marginal fields into huge commercial successes. And a brilliant example of this is the Al Shaheen field offshore Qatar, where we are now. When we went into Qatar, no one thought it would be possible to actually produce commercially from it. But we actually proved ourselves right by transferring our knowledge we have gained by working in the North Sea, which were also very difficult reservoirs, and transferring that knowledge to the Al Shaheen field. And today we're having a production of more than 300,000 barrels a day. It's all about using our science and technology in turning the marginal fields into commercial successes and thereby making the impossible possible. And that's just great to be part of, and I love that.
On this planet of ours, 8 out of 10 people live in growth markets. Their future depends on building strong and stable economies. But how do you create an economy today that's prepared for tomorrow? It starts with establishing trade connections to the world. Harbors and hubs through which trade can smoothly pass, with infrastructure and logistics to support them. And people, local people, with the right motivation, the right skills to make these gateways work. Like clockwork. APM Terminals operate more than 60 ports and terminals worldwide. To see what difference they're making, let's visit Kai Mep in Vietnam.
The terminal plays a very important role in Vietnam. It helps make Vietnam more competitive, so it makes me proud to be part of something this big. So this is far more than just a job. I'm connecting people, businesses and countries with my country. Just to give you an idea, more than 30 million containers are passing through Maersk terminal worldwide in just 1 year. A single container can carry the yearly consumption of noodles of more than 3,000 people. That gives you the picture of the magnitude of our operation. We live as a team because there's no room for mistakes, so safety is top priority. That's why we have special focus on safety and human resources. We all need to share the same values to understand each other so we can work as one. Right now, Vietnam exports twice what we import, but that's changing. Trade is bringing prosperity to my country. Soon the ships coming in will be just as full as ships that are leaving. I believe what we're doing here will be a great help for our country, and our children will benefit from the prosperity that trade brings to us with the development of terminals like this one.
Nature is a force to be reckoned with, to be respected, to be treated with care. She gathers her resources in the most remote environments. Nature challenges us to drill deeper, go further, to find ways to do business safely and responsibly under the most extreme conditions imaginable. How do you face these challenges when you work for Maersk Drilling on an ultra-deep water rig?
What's not to like about a rig like this? Look at it, out here in the middle of the ocean. I'm in charge of the drilling team, the auxiliary on the main side, the equipment for the well, and also the safety of the guys out here. Out here we have to be ready for anything that nature can throw at us. This is what you need. You'll need a rig like this. The old type rigs, they'll never be able to come out here. A huge rig like this can stay right in the very same spot all the time due to its dynamic positioning. No matter what the weather's like, the current, the waves, this can stay over the top of a 50-pence piece. From a big rig like this now, we can drill 12 kilometers away just with the touch of a finger on a joystick and get ourselves right into that reservoir for the oil companies. We're the stars of the future, and that's why they cost so much to build and they cost so much to operate. But now we're going to find the reservoirs that will give the oil companies huge returns, so it's worth it in the long run for them to pay for such a beauty like this.
Many local enterprises have customers spread worldwide. Yet bringing precious goods safe and on time, from producers to consumers, is never an easy task. But no matter how remote the location, if there is a road, there is a connection to the international highways of trade. All it takes is a reliable partner to secure the deliveries. Damco is one of the world's largest freight companies. How do they manage the complexity and still create value for each of their customers?
We specialize in providing end-to-end logistics solutions. For example, our customers find a right manufacturer or supplier in countries like India, China, Vietnam, and then they call Damco to move their cargo. We manage and develop their entire supply chain, including from importing raw materials to exporting finished products, not only to the port, but to their distribution centers, their stores, or to their final customers. Shanghai is a very interesting city. Everything runs really fast. People work very fast, people talk fast. Very motivating place for our people to work. We believe that no two customers are really alike. So every single customer needs their own tailor-made solutions. We really work very closely with our customer, try to understand their business, and then come up with customized solutions to fit their specific business.
Wherever you meet Maersk, you will find people dedicated to making a difference. But as the world changes, some basic guidelines of good business may still be worth listening to, especially when they are told by a great pioneer of the Maersk Group.
And the basic principle is that people can trust us, that authorities can trust us, that employees can trust us, and that business connections can trust us. Your word should be your bond. We exercise constant care. By constant care, I mean care at the time the action is taken. It's much easier if you do it right the first time, instead of having to correct or add later on. That's difficult. Well, of course, if the care delays the decision-making, it can be too much. The constant care is the proverb that my papa left to me and to the group. Rettidig omhu.
Indonesia merupakan penghasil dan pemakai energi terbesar di Asia Tenggara. Indonesia merupakan sebuah keberhasilan. Negara dengan pertumbuhan tak terbendung.
This country has the population more than 230 million people. I think Indonesia is the fourth biggest population in the world after China, India, and the US. Yeah? All of them needs energy.
Dan akibat pertumbuhan ekonomi Indonesia, pasokan energi nyaris tak mampu menyamai kecepatan.
This country grows above 6%. The growth of energy consumption a little bit higher. The energy demand grows by around 7 to 8%. The level of energy consumption will increase, and if some reason the energy supply is not fulfilled, okay, in many areas, it will have the negative impact, will make the economy slow down. Industry cannot utilize the design capacity of their manufacture because of electricity is not enough.
Perkembangan teknologi inovatif sangat penting bagi keberhasilan Indonesia yang terus berlanjut. 3 perusahaan telah bekerja sama untuk memaksimalkan investasi terkini di sektor energi. Maersk Oil, Siemens, dan Clean Energy Systems menawarkan peningkatan efisiensi dalam pemulihan sumber daya minyak dan gas generasi ketiga.
Maersk Oil is an oil company, so our strength is in developing oil and gas fields. We are an industry that uses almost any physical principle known to man to do what we do. So there is not a single theory, whether it's electronic or geomechanic or reservoir related, that we're not using in some form or another. And that makes it very exciting for somebody who loves technology to pull those things together and say, how can we combine all these capabilities into stuff that we can compete with?
Trigen is a rocket engine and takes any sort of fuel that you can think of, anything that is combustible. What it does is essentially combine oxygen and poor quality gas, and it turns it very efficiently into CO2 and water and lots of heat. We use a turbine to turn that heat and pressure into power. So you produce electric power. And then we separate out the steam and the CO2. CO2 is an almost ideal medium to sweep out the remaining oil from mature oil fields. If you use pure CO2, it will give you an additional 10 to 15% extra recovery from fields that have already been water flooded. So Trigen's ability to produce pure, almost pure CO2 at low costs is a key source of value for the technology.
Our production mostly depend on our aged oil field. Some of the aged oil field can be increased its production by using our CO2 reserve in Natuna or in another place by using a kind of Trigen technology.
You would develop the fields that you currently can't develop. You would generate power that society needs, and you do it cost effectively, and you would generate CO2 to produce more oil that the society needs as well. So in the right value chain, as we call it, all these things have value for a country like Indonesia.
Kelangkaan energi menjadi hambatan bagi pertumbuhan ekonomi Indonesia, merugikan jutaan penduduk. Kelangkaan energi menghalangi investasi asing. Kelangkaan energi mengurangi daya saing industri. Untunglah ini merupakan masalah yang dapat dipecahkan. Cukup dengan memikirkan ulang teknologi yang sudah ada dan menggunakannya dengan cara-cara baru. kita bisa membantu penggunaan sumber daya alam secara optimal serta berkelanjutan guna menghasilkan lebih banyak energi untuk masa depan Indonesia.
This technology will be very, very applicable in Indonesia, and Indonesia need this kind of energy. It can produce electricity with high efficiency and can use CO2, which is before something that very bad impact to the environment. Now can be used to increase our crude oil production, for example. And for Indonesia, this is a must.
You have to be comfortable partnering with people to make this happen. So we're now partnering with Siemens and Clean Energy Systems, but equally, if we want Trigen to be successful, we need to partner with national governments, national oil companies, surface companies to make this happen. So for us, the challenge is not just technical. It is also about our ability to pull together the right group of people to make this happen.
In the near future, we have to utilize CO2 that can give benefit for the people and for the state. I think Trigen technology is one of the answers.
The history of Indonesia is an epic story of trade. Over the centuries, trade has tied this great nation of islands together. Today, Indonesia is among the world's fastest-growing economies. Local efforts are made to improve roads and harbors, but there is a growing demand for reliable shipping across land and sea.